Ready?
Yeah.
Action.
Oh man.
You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Man, you know who it is. It's your boy Axtion Jaxon. Just chilling, just a little vibe in here. What's going on?
So we're just going to learn a little bit about Axtion Jaxon here today. So were you born and raised in Las Vegas?
Certified, born and raised here in Vegas. This is the hometown. This is the spot. You haven't been to Vegas, you got to come to Vegas straight up.
What are some things you like about Vegas?
Vegas, I would say growing up here and to like where Vegas is now, we've just completely expanded. Now we have hockey, we have the Raiders, we're about to get the Oakland A's soon. Eventually we'll get basketball. I would say the music scene is kind of growing here. The fashion scene is kind of growing as well too. If you guys haven't checked already, go hit up at peacemaker.shop. Go get some drip.
So you mentioned fashion in your Peacemaker drip. You want to tell us a little bit more about that and how you got it started?
Yeah, for sure. So actually real quick intermission. You see it. Gotta rep the brand. So what got me into doing the fashion and the clothing brand, I've always been an artist doing like designs on like my homework, the notebook, on like anything I saw that like I could draw on with like a Sharpie, marker, pen, pencil. Like I was always doodling on all my stuff. So then I was like, and people like the artwork too. So I was like, people like the designs. I enjoy doing it. It started out with the family brand, sold out on my first drop. And then I didn't think it was as unique and as creative as I wanted it to be. So I still have that brand, but I kind of transitioned more into the Peacemaker with kind of more like creative ideas and artwork. It's in the name, Peacemaker. So just a whole bunch of different pieces and kind of go more in like the creative style avenue and like athletic wear with like athletes and stuff like that. So we could definitely go more in depth about that, but I feel like I'll take up all the time here talking about the Peacemaker. Season 1 is about to come to an end. Season 2 on the way.
So Jackson, what's your inspiration for the designs for the Peacemaker brand?
Oh, inspiration for the designs. That's actually a good question. So I was at the Caesars box office doing phone calls and stuff. This was like right before I started traveling, going on tour for filming and video stuff. I was in the box office so bored doing phone calls, so I ended up buying like a little notebook to doodle and stuff, and I was making these little doodle figures. And of course Vegas has all these casinos and gambling stuff, so it wasn't really promoting gambling, but I made these little like characters. So I made like different craps players. As soon as I turned 21, hit the blackjack table, wanted to learn how to play craps, because at my school everyone was playing little craps with the dice and stuff like that. So so what happened was I made Hot Hand Harold. That was the first ever character that I made. Actually, it was Crappy. It was Crappy 7. And the inspiration behind Crappy was I went to Club Fortune Casino, and there was this older dude. He would always crap out and lose me money, so I called him Crappy. So I ended up making a character called Crappy 7, and he would always say 7, and that's what you don't do at the craps table. You never say 7, it just brings bad luck. So you always got to knock on the craps table on the wood. So I was like, yo, that's kind of dope, and I was showing people at the box office like, bro, this is fire. So I kind of just started making more other characters. So we had Crappy, we had Hot Hand Harold, we had Larry Never Lose, and a couple others. We had Hilo. And then that was kind of like the inspiration when I had first started getting into the Peacemaker, but kind of just like all my interests and passions I wanted to kind of make some artwork out of. Like I just released like a new basketball shirt. You saw the shorts that I was wearing. It has a bunch of different sports teams and kind of just pieced all those like logos into the brand. So kind of just like a very creative style, brand, also to mix in with some like athletic wear to work with athletes and artists and kind of other artistic creators and stuff like that.
So what is your vision for this clothing brand?
So my vision is definitely, I think about the bigger picture when it comes to anything I do. Like, of course, the process, the milestones, the goals, but what is like the bigger picture and like what's really the point, you know? So eventually I think if I get a store, like an in-person shop, that could be pretty cool. I don't think it's necessary because I currently have an online store, online presence. So definitely working with, you know, top influencers and athletes and artists to represent the brand and just to influence people to like stay creative and, you know, like whatever ideas you have, really try to like if you have an idea, turn that idea to life, you know. So like with the Peacemaker, it's a foundation of different brands. So Peacemaker is the shop / brand that also is the carrier of other brands. So I have my own kind of self-staple brand, Axtion, for Axtion Jaxon. And action is, you know, take action. You have to take action to make it happen. Nothing that you do will get to the level you want it to be without taking action. As far as, you know, the bigger picture with Peacemaker is, you know, I'm trying to make that go global, international, stay creative, and make it happen with action.
I know you also are a little bit in the music scene. You want to tell us more about that?
Yeah, I started messing around with the beats on FL Studio, Logic. Started on GarageBand before all of that stuff, just kind of playing around with the different sounds, how the software works. So started doing beats, and then, like, of course, most people, when they started doing vocal artist work, stuff like that, messing around doing the freestyles in the car. So kind of just messed around doing the freestyles in the whip, and then it kind of just became something that I gained more of an interest in doing collaborations with like other artists and friends like that to, I don't know, just try to push some dope music out. I thought if someone else could do it, I could do it too. So that's kind of how that started.
So you're definitely really big in the artist industry with music and fashion. Is there anything else, any other passion or hobbies you have?
I love to hoop. If you want to get some buckets on you, man, I'm shooting that thing from the hash line. Yeah, I would say sports. I love to go hoop for sure, but growing up I played a lot of sports, from soccer to flag football. Parents never let me play actual tackle football because they thought that I would just get cracked and never be able to walk again. So maybe it was a blessing. Still wish I could have been that, you know, wide receiver, picking sixes, you know, like that. But yeah, I grew up playing baseball, did some travel ball. It was always pretty political here in Vegas with sports. So I actually got moved up from this one travel team. I must have been like 12 or 13, doing some club ball, traveling state to state for baseball. And they ended up moving me up with the older kids, like a year up. And then the first game I ever played, they benched me the whole game. So my parents flipped. They're like, why would you move him up if he's not going to play? So that was my last ever baseball game, and I just started hooping. So when it comes to hobbies, I'm pretty 2 feet in when it comes to doing like the art, doing like the designing, clothing, doing the beats, the music, shooting videos, going out doing some photography work, getting some hoop action in. And then I love to, you know, motivate and inspire others by, you know, giving them advice on, you know, just ideas, other perspectives. I would say that's pretty much it.
What can this man not do?
Jack of all trades.
So Jackson, what would you say is your main motivation to get all of these things started?
Main motivation to get all these things started? All these things are like plants. It's like a little garden, right? I like to just water these plants. Maybe we'll water this one a little bit, then we'll come back to that one, we'll water this one. So my advice is, don't be a garden. Have your soil, plant that seed, and build a tree. Whatever your passion, interest is, like a side hustle, whatever, start with one thing. And of course, I started out with one thing first, but really start that one thing and just keep watering that so you can grow and have a foundation. So then you can branch out just like a tree. You have the base of the tree. That's your main thing that you're doing. And then you could start branching out into other avenues. Start that one thing and then definitely branch out after you have a foundation. My friends, they're like when they ask for my advice, I'm like, bro, think about it like Clash of Clans, bro. You got to have a foundation. Think about that as the town hall, right? And then as you keep upgrading yourself, your foundation, your business, you're upgrading your town hall. Now you can start upgrading. You can start bringing in new resources, stuff like that. I think that's a cool little analogy that I like to think about. You got to start somewhere. You got to start small. You could start big, but you definitely need to have a foundation. But also just find people that also do the similar thing that you like to do. And you could start networking, collaborating, and just always have an open mind so you can learn. If you have a closed mind and you want to be a know-it-all, that's okay. But realistically, if you have an open mind, you're always going to be able to learn and see other perspectives, and that's what's going to really allow you to grow. For sure.
So,
dude, this caffeine is getting to me, bro.
bro, you just gotta do some jumping jacks?
Bro, this caffeine is just getting to me right now.
Axtion Jaxon on caffeine. My life.
Bringing it together. I can't.
So, who would you say your role model or hero is?
Oh, my role model and hero. I would say I probably have a couple heroes. I would say definitely probably mom, dad, and God. Probably are the three. God first always. My mom, because in my life, one of the most dedicated women I know, even in like the most tough times, tough situations, she always has that smile on her face. Like, she could be going through the most hardest time and I would never know. I feel like she just keeps everything in, but she can handle and balance it so well. So I really admire that about her. My dad, because he's a senior PGA Tour champion for the PGA Tour. And I think just to get to that level, high skill of a level of an athlete is just like pretty intense. And it's just like mentally, it could be a lot for some people. It's definitely a mental game for sure. You need a lot of consistency when it comes to golf. And I like to think golf is like a business as well, because I think they translate. Just because how someone can act on the golf course, they can be playing at their very best. When someone's playing their very best in golf, that's going to translate them doing their very best in their business, because you get to see their reaction. When someone's doing their very worst in golf and they're getting all mad, you can see how that can translate if their business is doing bad, how they may act or react. So if you have that self-control at your best and your worst times, that just shows how a person really is. You can really determine and see someone's character on the golf course and how that can translate into just someone off the golf course and just as a person. Growing up, I always saw my dad literally just whenever he was home, he always had a golf club in his hand and a cigarette too. But even when we would like go travel, he'd bring me out like different states for his golf tournaments. We'd be in the hotel room. He'd just be working on his swing, his putting. So to be able to see that consistency and determination and courage, being an athlete for golf was pretty inspiring, even though I've never been one to really be like, oh, I want to take on golf or, just try to do that as my career. It's never really been in the picture, but I definitely respect it. So I would say my mom, dad, and God are probably my 3 biggest heroes.
You're a hooper. What's your favorite professional basketball team?
Dude, I don't have a favorite basketball team because I went from baseball to basketball. So I guess I don't even really have a favorite basketball team, bro. Straight up. I like to watch Harden. I like to watch Clay. But I just like to watch the shooters, dude. That's what I do. I shoot the ball. So anyone that can shoot the ball, that's who I'm rooting for.
So what's your favorite color?
Red or green, not together. No Christmas vibes. Christmas is probably one of my favorite holidays, but it's got to be like red or green, not together. Unless we're throwing on the Gucci, and that's different.
So speaking of Gucci, what is your favorite clothing brand?
Man, it's got to be Peacemaker. If it ain't Peacemaker, I don't want it.
Great clothing brand, by the way.
Appreciate you.
Favorite vacation spot?
Ooh. All right, so I haven't been out of the country other than Mexico. I've probably been to 40 states, no bullshit. Probably Florida, along the coast, or just in Cali. Kind of basic, but I love the beach. Like the sand, I like the vibe, the piers, the beach babes, and the bikinis. Yeah, gotta be Cali, bro. I was just in Newport. Great time.
All right, let's see. What is your proudest moment so far?
Proudest moment so far. Damn.
So maybe not what's your proudest moment so far, because we're still young. We got a lot of opportunities still.
Yeah, facts.
Let's say maybe what's the best decision you've made to progress in your career?
Best decision would probably be learning gratitude. Best decision was to learn gratitude. And I say that because everything is a blessing. With God's plan, of course, the obstacles that get thrown at us, all the blocks, and to try to overcome those, but with gratitude, just be grateful for, of course, not just the minimum, but the experiences and the lessons that you get to learn. And I feel with every experience and any failure, it's not a failure, it's just trial and error. See what works. Everyone's different. What might work for this person might not work for this person, even following a certain blueprint. But with gratitude, that allows you to just be grateful for different opportunities and experiences and lessons that could potentially help you get to the next level. Gratitude.
Well, that's great. Definitely be grateful for every opportunity you got. So if you could collab with any celebrity, what celebrity would you want to collab with?
Holy shit. If I could collab with any celeb right now, I feel like this is basic, but it might have to be Drake or Lil Uzi. Lil Uzi is a Leo, and I'm a Leo. Uzi kills it on the stage, dude. Uzi is... I think Uzi is just fucking tough. And I think Drake is just the staple of the music as of now. Dude's been in the game for how long? So it'd probably have to be Drake or Uzi to collab with. If I could collab with anyone right now, it would be Drake or Uzi.
Hey, you can't go wrong with either one of those. Man, so when you're not working on your fashion or your music, what do you like to do in your free time?
Honestly, I've kind of been playing NBA 2K24 lately. Been kind of grinding that out. Yeah, probably just hopping on the sticks, learning about more business behind the clothing brand, and learning a little bit more about the music industry aside from being the artist part and doing the vocals or doing the beats or learning the software, just actually more the business aspect of it. on how like royalties work, and just trying to like promote an artist, doing like more artist management, stuff like that. So just expanding, learning more about the business and stuff like that.